The full civilian board of the TCHC steps down in the aftermath of the spending scandal.
And food prices will be taking an even bigger bite out of your wallet. Humber News starts right now.
Hello, it's Thursday, March 3rd. Welcome to Humber News, coming to you from the Broadcast Center here at the North Campus. I'm Brent Tennant. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Bridget Trong. Ahead on our show, we have all your news, sports, and entertainment highlights, as well as your 5-day weather forecast. But first, Brent has our top story.
The chair of the Toronto Community Housing Corporation has surprised everyone at the TCHC emergency meeting this morning by announcing that the full civilian board, including himself, will resign. David Mitchell said all 7 members will step down. 2 audits revealed a shocking list of expenditures by the TCHC, totaling up to $10 million. Mayor Rob Ford demanded the board's resignation in statements to the media. CEO Keiko Nakamura apologized at the meeting. She says she admits dollars were wasted and could have been put to better use. Nakamura did not resign. She was the only CEO for a few months of the time the audit examined. The civilian board members are all volunteers.
The TCHC is not the only target Rob Ford has his eyes on. The mayor is threatening to bring a fight to Premier Dalton McGuinty's door if he doesn't get the extra $153 million he requested from the province. Ford wants the money to cover road construction, services for immigrants, and other projects. Ford's request became public knowledge earlier this week and was immediately rejected by McGuinty. Ford told News Talk 1010 if he doesn't get the funding, he will have no choice but to rally what he calls Ford Nation to make sure the Liberals are voted out in October 6 election. PC leader Tim Hudak accused McGuinty of trying to undermine Ford.
The Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police are also giving McGuinty trouble, raising a red flag over the Premier's plans to update liquor laws. McGuinty wants to allow festival goers to walk openly with alcohol instead of being limited to a beer tent. However, the police chiefs say the changes could encourage underage drinking and create an unsafe environment for families. McGuinty announced his plans last month, around the same time PC leader Tim Hudak said he would consider returning Buck a Beer if elected.
The victim of a fatal drive-by shooting last night has been identified as 19-year-old Shane Williams of Toronto. Police found Williams with several gunshot wounds shortly after 9 p.m. last night near Dundas Street West and Scarlett Road. Investigators say it appears a vehicle approached Williams, opened fire, and sped off. He was taken to the hospital where he later succumbed to his injuries. There is no description of the gunman or the vehicle.
The number of malnourished and chronically hungry people is growing at an alarming rate, according to a new report released today by the Recession Relief Committee. Reporter Mike Van Oosten has more.
Groceries. To most of us, they're a necessity. To others, they're a luxury. Here at North York Harvest Food Bank, the employees and volunteers spend their days sorting, shipping, and packaging supplies to help support the community. The food bank does its best efforts to help those who can't help themselves. Annette Chawla, Executive Director for North York Harvest, says she's noticed a significant increase in the amount of visitors the food bank is receiving.
We absolutely have. Since the recession hit in 2008, we just saw the demand spike as well. Last year in 2010, we handed out 150,000 food baskets throughout our entire network during that time period, and that's an increase of about 10% from 2008. For our particular network, we saw a little bit of a decline from 2009 to 2010, but it's still at phenomenally high levels and historical. We've never seen anything quite like that.
Chawla also says that because of the current recession in the economy, many people can't afford the right and healthy foods needed, which may cause poor health in the future.
And while the report from the Recession Relief Committee does say that many Canadians are going hungry and are missing their meals on a daily basis, food banks like North York Harvest do exist to give aid to those who require a helping hand. Michael Van Oosten, Humber News.
900 more schools will have all-day kindergarten by September 2012. Premier Dalton McGuinty says a strong start in schools leads to a strong finish and more students will go on to college, university, or an apprenticeship. Early Childhood Education Coordinator Sally Katsopoulos agrees but says more is still needed to ensure the best future for students.
What we'd like to see, of course, is more funding for the younger age group, under 4s, because we know that that 0 to 3 mark is where there's a tremendous opportunity to make an impact on children's success later on in elementary and senior school.
The addition will bring the total number of schools in Ontario with extended kindergarten to 1,700.
Students who may be unfamiliar with this year's HSF election candidates had the chance to meet them today, as well as celebrity guest host Aaliyah Jasmine Sovani of MTV. Our reporter Kristen Sampiris has more.
Voting day is approaching at Humber College, and students still have unanswered questions. HSF hosted the 2011 executive search, where students get a chance to ask the candidates question before their final votes. The candidates gather in the Student Center today to present their platform and sway potential voters. The event was moderated by a celebrity guest host.
Leah Jasmine from MTV Canada.
Guest host Leah Jasmine Sovani from MTV joined the nominees for the debate. The candidates are encouraging students to take part in their school by voting.
What we're trying to do today is just trying to get people to get out, get engaged, get involved, because they can actually make a difference with their vote.
It is so important for students to go out and vote. The more students that vote, the more of a perspective we have on what the students really want.
However, before making an informed decision, students still have concerns.
We want to see things improve, not just for the students that are here, but for students that are coming here as well.
I'm not going to vote because I feel like I'm not well informed at this moment.
The last and final debate will take place in residence on March 8th at the North Campus and March 9th at Lake Shore. The All Candidates Forum is the perfect opportunity for students to ask questions, get to know their candidates, and raise any concerns before voting on March 14th. Kristen Sampiris, Humber News.
Thanks, Kristen. When we come back, we'll have more news from around the country and the world. Arda Zakarian will have the sports news, and we'll have your weather forecast with Rob Sykes.
It's a little cooler today, but the sun is out and the wind is gone. Stick around for today's weather and your 5-day forecast coming up.